Hey there, Dr. Michael Lennox with another heart-centered living video. This one is about the meaning of numbers. Now, I get a lot of questions about what do numbers mean, whether it's in a dream or in synchronicity, like seeing the number, 222 everywhere out there in the world. There's a real beautiful elegance to understanding the meaning of numbers based on the principles of numerology that I'm going to take you through. And once you sort of get the story that I'm telling about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I think it'll be very easy for you to maintain a working knowledge of what these numbers mean. So we start with the number 1, beginnings, the singularity, the starting point, so that when number 1 is featured, we're contemplating beginnings. Once 1 splits off and becomes 2, we now have the sense of relative other, me and you. So 2 represents everything in life that can be understood as a function of relationships, self and other consciousness. Once that's been established, what does the self and other do? But they create something. And then we get number 3. So that's the mother, father, child, artist, canvas, painting idea, that 1 starts alone, splits off into 2 relative other, then they create the third element, 3. And once that has been established, we can begin creating foundation and structure to life. And then we have the meaning of the number 4. So 4 represents the building blocks upon which other things are built and placed. Okay, so once we have a strong foundation and a solid ground under our feet, we can understand the next iteration of consciousness with the number 5. And 5 represents freedom and expressiveness, the idea that when we have that foundation and a safety beneath us, we can then be free to express our humanity. You might think of the Michelangelo drawing of the human figure, where each arm, each leg, and the head represent a kind of 5-pointed star. So that's the sort of sensation and the energy around 5, is individual freedom and expressiveness. Once we've got that down, we can then begin to share that idea with other human beings. And so 6 is the number of connection, relationship. Think of a 6 as really 2 3s interacting with each other. That each of us as individuals are sort of a function of our own divine creativity. And when we interact with another human being in 2 sort of perfect beings being, created together, that's the symbol of connectedness, marriage, friendship, relationship, intimacy. And that's the essence of the number 6. Once we have the human world sort of mastered, we can look up and we can consider spirit. And our spiritual sensibility is represented by the number 7. And of course, once we get what spirit has to offer us and living connected to spirit has to offer us, we understand that we live in a world of infinity, of perpetual abundance, of never-ending flow, bringing us to the number 8. 8 represents prosperity, abundance, and that sense of infinite possibility that we live in. And that's all there is to get. That's it. Once we've gotten that, we come to 9, completion, endings. The idea that we complete a cycle, and then, of course, we begin again at number 1. So if a number should come up in your life, either in a sleeping dream, a waking dream, a synchronistic moment, or a perpetual thought that won't leave you alone, or a time on a clock, add all the numbers up in the sequence and come down to one final number. So if you have a dream about the clock going off at 7:30, you would add 7 plus 3 plus 0 equals 10, 1 plus 0 equals 1, and that's a dream image about beginnings and starting points. And you do that with any number that shows up. Use my little arc to guide you, and have at it with interpreting the numbers that show up in your life.